Hi! I have not done a video in a very long time, so I thought, hey, it's New Year, why not do one? And so I thought I'd start with just some card making 101, in case you wanted to make a card for somebody who you cared about. Make them feel special. That's always a good thing, right? So let me share a little bit with you about my process for how I do that. The first thing I want to do is think about who I'm making the card for. What do they like and what I want to say. So I like to start with usually some pretty paper. It's kind of what I start with. So I think about, okay, what is this person like? And then go from there on what do I want to say. So for today's card, like say for instance, there was somebody I wanted to give a card to, and hey, they really like strawberries. So I just happen to have some paper here. This is our very delightful designer series paper. And I'm going to go ahead and just flip through here and figure out what of this gorgeous, lovely paper I want to use. Okay. So say it was for my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend, but say it was. I like this paper. It's fun. It's plaid. It's kind of masculine looking, but it's also pretty and kind of got like a watercolor effect. Then on the flip side, there's some pretty strawberries. So maybe I'll go with this one. All right. So, girlfriends listening, make your boyfriend's cards. Don't go buy them at Dollarama and Walmart. Sorry. Guys, same thing. Make your girlfriend's cards. Don't buy them at Dollarama and Walmart. Okay. Next, I have my pretty paper. Fun thing about Stampin' Up is that wasn't very inclusive, was it? Girlfriends, buy your girlfriend's cards. Boyfriends, buy your boyfriend's cards. Make them. Sorry, don't buy them. No. Let's try that again. Boyfriends, partners, make your partner's cards. There we go. That covers everybody, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, what is it? Oh, I was saying. Okay, yeah. So, paper. It tells you in the catalog, it tells you on here what the colors are for each paper. So I know that this is Poppy Parade and that there's a green in here that is Shaded Spruce, which is actually this color there. So that's what I'm going to use to base my papers on. So I need a cardstock base. So I'm going to use the Shaded Spruce. And then I'm going to need some white cardstock to do my stamping on. And I'm going to pick my inks to match, Shaded Spruce, Poppy Parade. And my stamp set. Just so happens, I want to figure out what I want to say. Just so happens that the stamp set that coordinates with this paper has a great, cute little saying on it for any occasion. It says, oh, how, that was so sweet of you. So that's the one I'm going to use, I think, for this card. I'm going to make two cards so you can see one really simple one and one that's a little bit more complicated. And go from there. Okay, so what else are you going to need? You are going to need a paper trimmer, some adhesive. So I'm still using our old adhesive. I haven't gone through all mine yet. You're going to need some good white glue that doesn't cause your paper to warp, or some tape adhesive. You may also want some dimensionals to pop things up, make them kind of fun and interactive, or like three-dimensional. You're going to need some acrylic blocks for your stamps. Every stamp set will tell you what size blocks you need, so you can kind of go from there. I don't know if this one tells you on the case or if it just tells you in the catalog. I think it just tells you in the catalog. This one doesn't say on the case. So you're going to make sure you have those. And then what else are you going to need? A really good pair of scissors. If you're going to do any fussy cutting or trimming, these make for really smooth, easy cutting. So we have our ink, we have our paper, we have our stamps. And one of our cards we're also going to use a paper punch for. You don't need this for the super simple version that I'm going to do, but I'm going to use this on our more kind of stepped up, fancier version. And then you may want some embellishment. So some ribbon. I'm going to use this one, this little polka dot ribbon. And some, whatever, little rhinestone embellishments. And am I missing anything? Don't think so. So I'm gonna pause this, switch the camera over, and then get started and show you how to make some cards. Okay, so I don't know what the other video caught, so maybe I'm just going to start right from the beginning and go from there. So we need our paper trimmer, okay, and we need our paper that we picked, which was the from the very delightful Designer Series paper. We're using the strawberry pattern with this red Poppy Parade plaid pattern on the back. Okay, so our Designer Series paper, we're gonna do our card base first. Card base, I cut them to 4 inches. Some people do them 4 1/4. I prefer the slightly thinner one. It looks more like the UK version. So I'm going to do 2 cards at a time so that you can, and just do them a little bit differently, so you can do the either do a really simple version or a more complicated version. Okay, so 4. Then you're going to score them at 5 1/2. So this is just 8 1/2 by 11 inch cardstock. So your tool has your scoring blade on it, and your scoring blade and your cutting blade. And then that way, after you score them, you can just fold your card base in half quite easily. Okay. Do the same thing with this one. 5 1/2 and score it. Okay. Voila, easy peasy, done. Okay. Now, you're going to take your white cardstock, and you're going to cut these 1/4 inch smaller on all sides. So you're going to do 3 3/4, and you're going to want to cut 4 sheets of this. One is going to go on the inside of your card, and then the other one will go on the outside as in the card mat. So you have, if you're only doing 1 card, you just do 2 of them. Okay. And then so we're now going to do 5 inches the other way. No, we're doing 5 1/4 inches the other way, sorry. 5 1/4, 5 1/4. All right, so we have our card mats and card bases, and now we're going to cut our paper. So for this, we're going to take off another 1/4 inch. So we're going to do 3 and what we are 4, 3 1/2 by 5. If there is a directionality to your paper, you want to pay attention to that for your pattern, so you're cutting it in the right direction. This paper's not too bad. Don't worry about it too much. And 5. Okay. So there we have that and that. Okay. So I'm doing 2 cards. One is this kind of more simple one. So what you're going to do, I'm going to choose this one for that. It's a little bit more colorful all around. So I think I'm going to use this one for my simpler card. And then I'm done with my paper trimmer for now. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, I lied again. Okay. We're going to actually cut this one in half for our more complicated card. So we're at 5, so we're going to cut it 2 1/2. Like that. And that'll probably go like that. Okay. I'm going to flip it over. That's extra paper. All right, so now we're going to glue down our paper or our cardstock. So you're going to take a mat and you're going to take your stuff. Now I'm going to sit for this part because it's easier and then I'll pop back up. Okay. And this is our new adhesive, which I just opened on the last video. You want to make sure that the sticky part is on your paper so that it pulls across well. So I'm just adjusting it with my finger there. All right, and then you're going to glue it. So what you're going to do is you're going to line it up so that when you're doing it, your 3 sides here look about even and straight. And then that way, hopefully your bottom one, you're going to glue it on straight. And then your bottom one will be even as well. So there we have our simpler card. And this is going to be our more step up card. And again, I'm just gonna, this one I'm gonna kind of just guesstimate on the top one and hope it works out. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the other side and flip my paper like that. And then just match it up and stick it down. Okay, so we have our simple card and our more complicated card. Okay. And then for your simple card, you're going to do the same thing with your glue it on your card base. With your adhesive, if you're using white glue, you can do that too. But this is nice because there's no drying time. The white glue, it's easier to move around a little bit if you kind of mess it up. And again, you're just going to match up your 3 sides, make sure it's straight, and then you can lay it down. Okay, so there's our simple card. So I've now made 2 of our simpler cards. Just going to put those to the side. And now for your other card, you're not going to stick this to your card base just yet. Okay, you're going to use this pretty little ribbon that I picked out. I have different scissors for my ribbon than I do for my paper because it keeps them sharper and cuts the ribbon nicer. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive in the middle here on my card and then stick, oops, let me move it up a little bit. Stick my ribbon across the middle there like that. Okay. Now I can stick it on my card base. Okay, stick that on my card base, doing it in the air. Okay, like that. Ta-da. Okay, so I think I'm all caught up to where I kind of left off with my last video. Now I'm going to do some bows for our cards. So I'll just show you how to do one. I usually leave it attached to the roll because it saves ribbon that way. And tie a bow. And then I just kind of adjust it how I want it before I cut it, and then I can make my final adjustments later. And I just cut it on an angle like that. Oh, I have my bows, so I'll do 2 more for my other cards after. But we have our bows. Okay, so I think now we can move on to the stamping part. So you're going to need your blocks. More videos because this one is just driving me nutty today. Okay, so I think I ended tying a bow. I think that's where the other one cut off at. So we have our bow. Okay, so next what you're going to do is you're going to stamp your sentiment. So a sweet strawberry stamp set. I'm just going to peel your sentiment off your acrylic sheet and put it on your block. And I'm going to use the Poppy Parade ink because that's what matches the paper. Pop it open, slide it closed. And I'm going to stamp it on here. You want to use a foam mat underneath for photopolymer stamps because it just makes for better stamping. Now, you're going to stamp as many as you need for as many cards as you're making. Ta-da, okay? And then you're just going to use your paper trimmer. And close that. Actually, I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to stamp something else. You're going to use your paper trimmer for this and just trim it off on either side. So you're going to end up with a piece like that. Okay. And then you're going to use your scrap piece that was left over from when you cut your card bases. And you're going to cut this. Let's move that out of the way. I don't need this anymore. Okay, I think I just did it 1 1/4 by 2 1/4. Sure that that's about right. I think it is. 2 1/2. 1 1/4 by 2 1/2. Okay, like that. Alright, so then I'm just going to stick my, I'm going to put this on an angle. Where's my glue level? Just going to do a little bit of this on here and stick it on here on an angle. Then I'm going to use some dimensionals. So these are these foamy adhesives. They're double-sided sticky things. And they just kind of give your card a little bit of a 3-dimensional flavor. Stick them up on here like that. Ta-da. Then you're going to take your card and pop this on. Peel off the other side. That and stick it on. I'm going to make my sentiment the straight piece. Ta-da. Then we're going to toss our bow on. So I can trim it up a little bit. It's a little bit long. Okay, and you can use a little drop of white glue, but if you have them, I like to use glue dots. Okay. And stick these on. Just gonna stick that down like that. Ta-da! And then I'm gonna throw on some bling. I use tweezers. Pull these off and just pop them on like that. So there's lots of different ones that you can use. We have frosted ones and clear ones and pearls that you can color with alcohol markers. And there's all different sizes. I'm just gonna I'm gonna stick it in the center of that flower because that looks cool. Okay, so I have the outside of my card done. Yay. Okay. Now we're going to do the inside of the card. So let's put these away. So weird to be doing this standing up. I need to work on my camera setup if I'm going to be doing more of these. Okay. All right, our piece that we cut for the inside of our card has a pearl on it. We're going to take our strawberry stamp, put this on a block. I'm going to use the background piece first. I'm just going to stick to using the 2 different ink colors. So I'm going to do rather than using a bunch of different ones. So I'm going to ink up my strawberry background stamp that. See how it's a distinctive stamp, so it gives like this texture look when you stamp it, which is really cool. We're done with this, so just use this one. To the outside. And then this one you're just going to line up because you can see through them. And you stamp it like that. I think this would look really cool if I did it in white, but I'm going to stick with the red. Do it in white or yellow or green even, but I'm just going to stick with the red. And then you're just going to line this up. You can do it either way. You can do it backwards too. Over top. So I have our strawberry. And then you can do the top of the strawberry if you want. So, which is these ones here, which I'm going to do in my green. So I'll set that aside. If you're doing more than one card, do it every step at the same time. Makes it easier. So I have my little strawberry leaves. Another block. And I'm just going to line that up. See how this one I did one way and the other one I did the other way? Then you have your little strawberry for the inside of your card. And you're going to take your adhesive and glue it down like that. And you have your little, anyways. I think it's cute. There's also this one you could do on the inside if you wanted. Here, I'll show it. I can show it to you. I think how I want to do it. You could do this on the, I won't show it to you, but you can do this on the inside of your card and then just color it in with markers. That would look cool too. And we have markers that match all our ink colors, so everything is coordinated. Okay. So let's stick this down and then we'll be done our simple card, and then I'll show you our other one. Finish up our other one for you. Okay, and we're still recording. Okay, there's a cute, simple, sweet handmade card. You know, for somebody who likes strawberries. Okay. Next. All right, so we're going to spruce up our little heart. So we have our sentiment, which we're going to stick on here. We have our bow somewhere. Oh, maybe I need to try another one. Okay, used both of the other ones already. Okay. So we're going to do our bow again. Like that. If you want to get super fancy, you can actually color in your dots. Okay, so we have that part and that part done. Now we're going to get a little fancier, and we're going to use our punch for this card. So this is our strawberry punch. So what you can do is you can do this two ways. You can either punch out on a scrap piece of paper all these, like just stick a sheet in there, punch it out, and then you're going to line up each stamp when you stamp it and stamp it in that space. Or what you do is do what I'm going to do and just grab a different strip for each shape that you want to do and stick them in and punch them out. You're going to want to make sure that you're lining them up that way, so when you're sliding them in, you're punching them along, you're punching them out the right way. Okay. So I'm going to start with my strawberries because I have those out already. So let's just switch up the ink. Okay. And I'm going to do 3 strawberries for each card. So 2, 3. Now I'm just looking at this. I want to space them out a bit because I'm running them through my punch. We have this leaf here, and it's gonna, let me see. I might actually switch this up and do it the other way. Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, just make sure you're leaving space between your strawberries and you're fine. These ones were a little crowded, but that's okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna do my stamping now here. I'm just doing it really quick. I'm not lining it up best, but it's fine. Okay. Now I'm gonna punch up my strawberries. I'm gonna close this up so I don't need that anymore. Now you're just gonna line up your shape in your punch. Punch it up. I have an extra one. That's okay. All right. Where'd they go? So I have my 3 strawberries. I'm gonna use on my card. And now I'm going to do my little leafy pieces on my next one. So I'm going to need 3 of these. Again, you just want to make sure that you're going to be sticking them in the right way. 1, 2, 3. Didn't line up quite right. I think they look kind of cool when they're a little bit off too, so it's fine. All right. And then you're going to punch these ones out. Okay. Oops. Okay. So I have my strawberry leaves. Where's my other one? That's a white one. Where'd it go? It's hiding on me somewhere. Did you guys see where it went? There it is. Okay. And you could switch this out and do a whole bunch of different colored leaves if you wanted, because there's different colors of green on the card, but I'm just sticking to the 2 colors that we're using today. Okay. Clean your stamps. I'd like to use, we have different options. I still really like to use this scrub. So one side is for wet, one side is for dry. So clean your stamp off like that, and then you dry it. And then you can put it back in the case. Just trying to, okay. All right. So I'm going to put my strawberries back and pull out my leaves. What you can do to get tone on tone when you're only using like different colors, when you're only using one ink pad, is to stamp off. So hold on, just grab a piece of paper or something. we're just going to use a scrap piece of paper and one my daughter drew on. And where's my, so I have my cardstock here that I'm going to do my leaves on. Okay. So I'm just going to stamp off on the scrap piece of paper before I stamp on here. Like that. And then that's just going to make my leaves a tiny bit lighter than the strawberry stems. So a little bit of a different shade. All right, and I'm going to do 3 leaves. I'll just kind of stick them out probably in between the strawberries. Okay. I have my leaves. How are we doing? We're still recording. Hooray. Great. Okay. Cleared my memory. That seemed to have helped. Okay, so I'm just going to probably use, what am I going to use for the back there? All right, let's figure this out. So we have our 3 strawberries with our little cute little stems. So just use a tiny bit of adhesive at the top of the strawberry to stick those on like that. And where's the other one? I don't know. Jesus. I lost it. People, I lost it. There it is. Okay. Can you tell I'm getting tired? I just did this video kind of off the cuff and I haven't done one in so long. I needed to like clear my memory. I need to figure out how to do more than one camera too, so I don't have to edit this. I'm gonna have to edit this after. Okay. And then we're gonna figure out how we want our strawberries. I want them kind of layered like that. Have my leaves kind of like peeking out somehow out of here. Kind of like that. And then I'm gonna stick this in here somewhere. Maybe like that. And throw my bow on here. These over a little bit. Oops. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna stick my bow on, probably like there. And then we're going to have our outside of our card done. And what you can do too, and I'm going to show you, we have this shimmery crystal effects, which, hold on, let me close this ink pad, which I really like. So what I think I'm going to do to make these strawberries look kind of extra fun, at least one of them, is just put some of this on here. I'll do it like around. And it is gonna make the color bleed a little bit. So it's gonna change the shade of the strawberry a little bit but that's okay. Okay. to do is just like, I have a little spreader thing. I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. And when that dries, it's going to be just like a juicy 3D looking strawberry. That's super sparkly. Like that. Yeah. And then you're going to put that on your card and you're going to have your beautiful little super shiny strawberry there. So I'm just going to let this dry. Actually, I could probably use my heat tool too. I just want to set that aside and let it dry. Okay. And then if you don't want to get quite that fancy, you can use this Wink of Stella, which is kind of along the same lines, but it doesn't make it puffy, so it'll just give it a little bit of a shimmer. Okay, so I'm just going to let this dry. And then I will have my finished card. It kind of looks something like that. I'll probably throw on, you know what, let's do something different for this card. I'll throw on some of these clear water droplet embellishments. Stick them in the little flower. It's kind of fun. Use the smaller ones. Okay, there we go. So I'm not going to stick these down yet because I'm going to let that dry a little bit more before I go do that. But that is going to be your card, your fancier card, and I'll just leave a picture of it. I'll post a picture of it at the end, so you can see it. So you're just going to use your glue. You can use your dimensionals to pop up your strawberries, and then you're also going to do your inside. So if you wanted to do your strawberry on there, you could, or let me show you. You know what? Let me just show you what you can do with this other stamp here. Seeing as I'm doing the video, let's just do it. Okay, so let's put this one back. Okay, I'll stick with the stamp set. It means ink pad. The same ink pad. You could also use just a black, which would be nice. And oops, make sure I have this where I want it. What I would probably do is stamp off. I'm going to stick the scrap paper underneath because I don't want I'm going to kind of have it so it's going off the page a little bit. And do that. And then I think strawberry flowers are like yellow in the middle, right, normally, and then white, and then you have your green leaves. So I'm just going to grab my markers. I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends markers. So this is our shaded spruce. This is the light one. They come in combo packs of 2 with a light shade and a dark shade. And I'm just going to color my leaf in with the lighter shade. Not even like going to the edges. Just take a little bit. If you want to go in and add a little bit dark on its own. Excuse me. I just blend it a little bit more with the lighter shade. These are alcohol markers, so it's fun to do that. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I completely missed that. There we go. Okay. All right, so we have our leaves, and then I'll throw on some yellow for our flower. So why don't we do like a dot of dark yellow in the middle? So Daffodil Delight. And then just do some layer coming out. There we go. So we cute little strawberry flowers for the inside of our card. Oops. And then we'll just slide that in there and you'll have your inside of your card done. Ta-da! All right, so those are our cards. So we have our really simple one, which does not take long at all. And then we have our other stepped up card, which doesn't take a whole lot of time, but still it takes a little bit more time than the other one. So yes, please make cards for your friends and your family and your partners. Make them feel special. Don't buy them cards at Dollarama and Walmart. Unless you want something that like has like a really, really long sentiment or something in it, in which case, yeah, or print them off the internet and stick them in your cards that you made instead. Anyway, sorry, I'm a little partial. I like handmade cards. Anyways, hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye.